Welcome back to 2SkeGEEKS. It's your boy Will Call, and I am here. I guess it's the 14th of June, and we're here and wanted to cover the fact that we went to Galactic Con in Howard County, Maryland this past Saturday. And I want to give a quick shout out to those vendors and also the hosts of Galactic Con, which was the name of the show. And this is like one of the badges, but that we had to wear around our necks at Galacticon. And I'll show you a very brief footage of what it's like, kind of like to attend a Comic Con. At least one of the vendors that I met for selling comics. And also, I'll give a quick shout out to some of the artists that I met. An artist named Frey. Uh, and then an artist named To Land. Then we had the Knights of the Abyss team. And Al Orsa Art. And let's see here. Another artist, BLA with 2 exclamation points, blah. He has some gorgeous art. Another artist named Monica Name. Monica Name. So it was Monika Nime, Nime, Monica Nime. And another brother named Q. And I'm so sorry, Q, if you're watching this video, Quentin, please forgive me because you were right next to Monica Nime. Please forgive me and please put your name or put your stuff into the chat of this video, and I'll make sure that we'll pub you up. And if you can, send me your information. I'm sad to report that a lot of the footage that I shot of the vendors just didn't come out. I just didn't, dumb me, just didn't hit the record button. So I apologize to you all who made the time to talk to me. But I'm very grateful for the time that you made with me, and you were great people to meet. Please forgive me again. And the next time I see you at one of the other local shows, I believe should be coming up. This is one coming out called Clandestine Con. Well, that's a vendor that's out there. And then also, I'm sorry, one of the shows coming up here. Now I'll get it together now. Is the Maryland Toy Expo coming up pretty soon. You can see the details on the card. And let's see here. And one other show coming up that I learned about. And if I can get the glare off of it, so that way you guys can see it. Alrighty. And last one. Sadly, the flyer's in black and white, but I hope it's still legible. See you there. So what was important about this show to me was the fact it's one of those local shows with the local comic book vendors and artists who had a ton of good stuff. It was really impressive, the artists and the inventory of a lot of the local comic book vendors here, and the care and concern of the comic book community that attended the show as well. It was really cool to see a small but yet well attended show. It was never undercrowded. It was always a constant flow of people, and in fact, in some time it was just it was pretty doggone crowded, and it was just very impressive to see the care that went into the show and people wanting to not just sell their wares, but make you be aware of what Maryland has to offer. The Maryland and the DC area, and even some folks came from even as far as Pennsylvania. But it was just really cool. So without further ado, I'm going to show you some of the books that I picked up at Galactic Con. And it's a pretty nice sized bag of books. I want to see here, pull some books out here. So, man, these brothers from Crofton, and I'll have to look them up, and I'll put the information that, as I mentioned, these brothers from Crofton have a comic book store in Crofton, Maryland. Had a good time hanging out with you guys, and I don't want to mispronounce the name of your show of your store. But I know I got the one of the owners his information on my Cash App, so I'm going to look him up and I'm going to put his name into the not the I guess the chat area of this channel. But anyway, as I'm delaying and stumbling around my words, here's some of the books that I bought from him and his partner. So Philadelphia #1, as I get myself together. This is not my first copy of Philadelphia #1, but that was one of the books that I picked up from him. I mean, they were selling 30 books for $20. And so this is a place at comic book shows you can really get a lot of great deals for your books. And so you can buy a lot of things in bulk. Therefore, the quantity of books that I have in the bag that you can see. And what is prominent, what I loved about talking with those guys from Crofton was the fact that they were letting me know that the writer for Philadelphia, and we've talked about him before, Rodney Barnes, he's from Annapolis, my hometown. Rodney will get the key to the city of Annapolis on the 24th, the night of the 24th, and he will be at Third Eye Comics on the 25th, I believe, from 11 to 1. I believe the time at Third Eye Comics in Annapolis as well, off of Chinkapin Round Road. And he's going to do a signing for not Philadelphia, but he's going to do a signing for the Nita Hawes Nightmare blog book. So, anyway, I'm just going through books that I picked up. I love that Iron Man cover that I showed you. Shadow Man. That was part 4. Shadow Man part 3, and this is one of the latest volumes of Shadow Man. Shadow Man is a character from Valiant Comics. Another one I said, one of those characters, voodoo characters. Was it Bonifaire, I think is his last name. But anyway, kind of French Creole name. It just won't come to me right now. I'll put that in the comments areas as well in the chat. But anyway, and we live. And just great books, all part of the 30 for 20. I was just going through their boxes and they hooked me up. Let's see here. Let's see. And another Philadelphia book. I can't tell what number this one is. Number 20. Come on, man. Work with me. Work with me, book, without getting jacked up. So these were all new books. It's a series I'd never heard of before called The Last Witch. I bought a few of those as well. I'm sure I'm bumping to a few more. This series called The Shepherd, Black Caravan, and Scout Comics is the publisher. More Philadelphia. And what was cool about while doing the Philadelphia thing, there was a family. Shout outs to the family that with a boy and a girl, young teenager, early teenage kids, helping them to find books like Geiger and I can't remember. Maybe The Last Witch and maybe Eve or something like that. But I was just giving, Eve was one of those books as well. Just giving recommendations for the young girl and the young lady and the young man as they were venturing into comics for one of their first ventures into comics, and came to the comic book show, and it was great talking to the kids and the parents to help them select books, and recommended to the mom and the husband the Philadelphia series for them to get into. Anyway, keep on showing books as opposed to running my lips. Let's see here. Past this one. We have Demons. This is the Peach Momoko variant for number 1. Oh man. Books are sliding. Forgive me. Tyson's Academy. Ordinary Gods. Some more Philadelphia. Yeah, I was just racking up on the Philadelphias, man. It was so great to get those books from them. This is not bagged and boarded yet. I got to be a little more careful. Fantastic Four Road Trip, number 1. That's better. A variant for that book in number 1. Fantastic Four Road Trip. The Spawn shout out and tribute to Chadwick Boseman from when he passed. Bought several of those. This is not my first. I have several of those. Let's see here. I love the Spider-Man cover with the colored use of the negative space. Love this one. And for you to see, trying to get you to see the number on it, if I can get the number to you. There it is. Another variant on Fantastic Four Road Trip number 1 with the Invisible Woman. Let's see here. Another Far Sector book. And again, we talked about that book a few shows ago as well, with N.K. Jemisin being the writer, incredible writer that you may want to pick up, not just her comic books, but also her books. A very brilliant mind she has. It's Justice League Last Ride, number 2, a variant that I did not have. And again, we talked about the Eve books and the kids getting their Eve books. And then we talked about that book as well. That was the book we talked about where the little girl goes on an adventure with her teddy bear in a post-apocalyptic world. And this is another variant of Eve. Let's see here. Yep, there we go. I knew I had some more Last Witch. Okay, we're almost done at the bottom. We're almost to the bottom of this pile. More Black Cotton. Some more Ordinary Gods. Love this cover because it goes all the way to the back. Love that cover. Let's see here. Another Last Witch. And that's Boom Studios that does Last Witch. And one of the cards I showed, Two Land, I bought their comic book, and the artist and writer signed that book by the Two Land book that and the card that I showed you guys a little earlier in the show, and I was going through the content of the cards. And then just some free books, just free stuff that they were giving out. I've never seen these. Some books by Ayn Rand, or someone who was doing a rendering or re-rendering of Ayn Rand's books. I've never seen these before, but they were in beautiful shape and they were given away for free, so I took them. And and then last book here is the Kal-El Son, Superman's Son, Kal-El #5, the Pride cover. And I believe that is the end of my excursion. Oh, no, that's not true. I have one more book. Stand by. Okay. Now get ready to wrap this video up after I show this book here. This is a Pride book. Well, my pride and joy. How about that? I'm proud to have this book. It is a Star Wars related book by one of my favorite artists that we've talked about on this show before as well. His name is Raza. And I had never seen this book until this show. So this is Thrawn #3. And Raza, again, as always, doing the doggone thing. Love that book. And so, shouts out to all the vendors, all the artists that I talked to. I gave the name of the show to many of you guys. It was great meeting you. It was a pleasure. It was my honor. It was my privilege to meet every single last one of you. And thank you for making the time to talk with me. And even though I didn't realize that the green light flashing meant you're going to be recording, and if it's not flashing, then I'm not recording, in which it was not. And so I'm very sorry to you last time, but please hit your like and subscribe button. And next time I go to a comic book convention with this new camera, I promise you I'll have it right. I'll get it right. And stay tuned for the next show. Like and subscribe. Holla at you soon. 2SkeGEEKS out.